Hello world, hope you're doing well. In this video we're gonna try out the new Llama 3.2, the AI model which was released by Facebook, or the new Meta, just actually a few hours ago. And I would like to see how good is it actually. So how fast is it, and is it reliable, should we use it? And the answer to this we'll find out in this video. Now at first, if you want to use it, you can download it via various software solutions, but one of the easiest ones I think is Llama. So if you go to llama.com, to their website, and go to download, you just download Llama, and then you can download all the models from the Llama website and run it directly in your terminal, or also use the endpoint and run it, for instance, using Python. And we're going to show or take a look at both options. Now in here you can see that the Llama 3.2 is available in two versions, so 1 billion and 3 billion parameters, which is amazing actually because it's so small. But the default one, which we're going to download, is the 3 billion. That's what I'm going to use. And you can see it's quite simple because all you do is use Llama run and then the model itself. And if you do this and you don't have the model already downloaded, it will download the model first and you can run it in your terminal. You can also choose the with 1 billion parameter, but then you need to be specifically stated with 1b here, double point 1b, then you get the smaller one. But I'm using the default one, which is this one, because it's so small. It's really tiny actually compared to the older models. So I already downloaded it, so let me just open my terminal in here. This is it, and let me just go delete this, and then if you installed Llama, you can simply run Llama simply as a command in your terminal and press enter, and then you see all the default commands, and you also see if you type in Llama list, all the models which you currently have downloaded, which for in my case are three ones: the Gwen 2, which is from Alibaba, then the 3.1, the 8 billion model, which is the prior version actually, and then the new one, which is this one. And the interesting part here is, hopefully you can see this, the size. So this is only 2 gigabytes, so it's really tiny compared to the prior versions, but still it's better, and that's the interesting thing here, right? So and the model in the future, they get even smaller than this, so we will definitely see that those models will run without any problems or issues on edge devices like smartphones. And so now let me run it. In my case it's called Llama 3.2 double point latest, so I call Llama run and then Llama 3.2 and then double point and then latest, right? Like this one. And I press enter, and then you'll see that I can now chat with it. So in my terminal, so I can ask it, hi, who are you? And I press enter, and you see it's quite fast, right? So it's actually blazing fast compared to what I was at least experienced in the past. And of course I could also ask it maybe, well, more questions. So who is Meta, and what does this company do? Like that, right? So press question mark and then press enter. And again, you see it's really fast writing this. So this is really amazing because it's locally, and of course we all know that, for instance, Claude or ChatGPT, these are fast, but if you run local models, in the past they were actually quite slow most of the time. So this is really a game changer for that. And of course let me just Control C and then Control D to exit it. We can also run it in Python. Let me show this as well. So if you prefer maybe a nicer looking GUI, so for instance you want to run it in your browser, you can for instance use Streamlit for that. And I did this in here, so that's my code here. It starts with sessions and session states, so it's quite simple, the code. If you want to have it, I can also paste it, for instance, give it to you in the video description if you want. But it's basically just that. It's just using Llama as the library, because there's a Llama library, and also it uses Streamlit, and then it just shows the chat interface. So if I say Streamlit and then run, and then in my case it's called Llama is stream.py. Right, so I press enter, and then we can run it directly in the browser, so you can see it like that. And this works actually exactly the same way. So for instance, I could ask a question. So how many people live in the US, for instance? Question mark, press enter, and then it's exactly the same considering the speed and so on, right? But this is a little bit nicer considering the GUI, so the interface, right, instead of running it in the terminal. But that can also be done, and this is also using Llama in the background, just the local server. So again, it's completely local, it's completely free, so you're private in here, you can ask any question you want. None of this data is sent to the internet or to someone else, and as you can see, it's really fast. So this is a game changer to me because, as I said before, it was quite slow if you do it locally, and most often the models weren't really good, but this time this model is really good regarding all the tests we've seen, but as always you have to try it for yourself in your own use case to see whether this fits for you or not. But so far what I can see is really great because it's small, it's tiny, it's fast, and it gives good responses as far as I've seen so far. So give it a try. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Also subscribe to the channel, I highly appreciate it. And otherwise, hopefully see you in the next one. Until then, best guys.